Hello YouTube, this is Sam. I am going to be doing a producer breakdown for one of my songs called Maroon that is coming out on October 15th. I just went to bed last night at like 4 a.m. trying to get this done. This is one of the most difficult songs I've had to write, and I don't think that you would know from listening to it because it sounds pretty simple. But it's been a labor of love. It's been a labor of love, especially to get it done in the time frame that it needed to get done, to get uploaded in time. So I'm not going to play you the entire thing because I want that to still kind of be like a surprise, like you have to go listen to it. But I am going to break down all of the elements and kind of how I wrote it. So this release was basically scheduled to be two songs, Maroon and a song called Midrift, and they're meant to play off of one another. And this one's gonna come out first, or this video is gonna come out first. The songs are gonna come out at the same time. So it's probably best to start with where I got the original idea for this song. I was just sitting at my studio at work, playing around with some guitar chords, and I came up with this riff. And later on, I also added in a little harmony to it too. So later on, I ended up adding in this thing that plays off of it. And you'll hear when I do the breakdown of my song Midrift, which both of these songs are available if you want to listen to them right now on my Patreon, by the way, but it's only $1. But anyway, the idea with this was this guitar riff was like the focal point of everything, and all Midrift is really is this riff, but slowed down. I guess maybe I should explain that for a second too. So I basically did two like demos of this song. One where it's at this tempo, 150 BPM, and then I just didn't like it, to be honest. I wasn't into it, and so I slowed it like way down to like, I don't even know what Midrift is, like 110 or something like that, and played the guitar riff too, which you will hear in the other producer breakdown video. And then I posted them both like little snippets, and everybody seemed to like the one that was faster, so I kind of was just like, maybe they're right. Maybe I need to challenge myself and push through the writer's block a little bit and try and make this faster guitar riff work. So this guitar riff is the genesis of it all, really. Let's listen to the rest of the guitars. So the rest of the guitars, we have some really cool like reverby guitars, like really ambient sounding guitars, like these guys here. We can go one by one. Just like filling up the space. And then I have this too. You realize you run out of names when you start naming stuff reverb guitar, and then you have another reverb guitar, and then you have another reverb guitar. Forgot about these too. These are two little harmony guitars. And then let's get into the chorus where more guitars come in. These are just heavy distorted guitars like you would think. Some distorted guitars, some acoustic guitars way down here. I did, when I do acoustic guitars, I usually like to do capos and non-capos, and I usually do direct and non-direct. That just means sometimes I'll mic up a guitar, and then I also take a direct signal too. These have, I think, a cool part. That's actually the same guitar riff as the ending of a song I wrote called The Only One I Love. That little riff is in there. It's very, very quiet in here, though. And then we really just have this outro for the guitars. I don't know. I just kind of thought this riff was kind of cool, to be honest, but alright. So it's some like heavy guitars. And then these two little kind of dueling guitars. And that's pretty much it for the guitars. Let's move on to bass. This is going to be a very quick one because the bass is programmed. I was just playing around with so many ideas for the bass that I got really tired of picking up my bass and recording it and then editing it and then trying a new idea. And I actually just honestly really love how this fake bass sounds. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep it totally real. This is just a fake program bass, but I love this bass line. And that's like the only really cool bass line that just repeats over and over. I mean, this ending, I guess, is a little different, but it's kind of boring. And that's kind of it for the bass. Let's go on to the production bus. So let's see what's really going on here. I don't know if anything's happening in this intro. I think things start to come in the verse. What even is highlighted? Oh, okay, we have this kind of like Van Halen style bass. Just doubling up on things. And that's actually the only production element for the verse. But pre-chorus has some stuff. We have this little drum beat, and we have a sub bass coming in. So the production's actually pretty boring here. I think I was going way more for like a guitar-driven song rather than like a production-driven song. So I really just have these tambourines. And then this is like kind of a little Easter egg if you're a First to 11 fan. We recorded where we did the acoustics, whatever acoustic EP was where we did like Chocolate and what else did we shoot in that specific room? Go to the Chocolate video and you'll see we're in this like deep cave and I don't think we had muted drums. So we just were listening to this like really reverby snare and me and Zach decided to take some samples of this. This is my snare drum at the Chocolate video shoot. So, extra room noise. Okay, now let's talk about the vocals. Oh my gosh, dude. I can't even tell you how frustrating these vocals are. I'm just gonna show you. So, this was pre-chorus 1 idea. This was chorus 1 idea. This was not this. Wait, where did it go? This was chorus 2 idea. And after 2 failed chorus ideas, I just stopped keeping them. There was a whole third, and maybe fourth? I think third chorus idea. And it was on these yellow tracks. And I just decided to delete. I was like, I don't even want to look at this. And it was taking up so much CPU that I couldn't keep recording without my computer crashing. It's been crashing even while I'm doing this video. So I'm like 175 tracks in, and some of these are just like, I mean, oh my gosh. That was the most frustrating part about this whole song. I was up so late last night just trying to find a melody for this chorus. It was impossible. And then I finally ended on something I think is like, okay. So let's talk about these let's talk about these vocals. Alright, let's go into the verse. Maroon, maroon, I'm a little lost without the truth, but I can sit around and waste away. So you're hearing that ad-lib track. The ad-lib track is being bussed right now to a vocal effects bus that has a little bit of distortion and spring reverb on it. So like, this is what it sounds like with it. And then without it. So if I solo just the bus, this is what it sounds like. So it's just adding a ton of reverb, a ton of, saturation really. But I really like this verse. I like how the vocals sound. The harmonies are pretty nice. Let's take a listen.
Fuck like a tragic scene, a screenplay like a magazine that I can read to fall asleep again. Blood is rushing when I touch your thigh. Complicate my breathing if you treat me right. Just say my name and say it like a thread.
So you'll notice that I cut out a lot of the breathing that's in between everything but the main take. I also had a frustrating time. I'd have to get this done at a certain time, so I did not have a ton of time to go through and line up all of the S's when I speak. So like you'll notice here in verse 2, like there's a lot of little chops trying to get these S's to line up, because hearing different S's coming through different times is not good. You don't want that. But gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So it's very choppy and it's a mess, but it thankfully sounds cohesive. This pre-chorus is not super interesting. I rarely do this, but I just have basically one take going. I think this is just an ad-lib take, so it's really just adding reverb, but this is like one main take. But I really want to get to the chorus. I did kind of something a little drastic here. I basically took all of the chorus tracks and I filtered them pretty heavily with this plugin called Vitamin. So I'm only soloing these two frequency bands, these mids and high mids. So if I have Vitamin off, it sounds like this, kind of like a more normal vocal. Oh yeah, actually, I think I took it off on the mains, but I don't know, I'll do it on this one so you can hear it maybe. So without it. But with it, you'll notice it's very filtered. So I'm just removing basically all of the low frequencies to try and get rid of some of that mud, but also kind of a stylistic thing. Like I'm trying to get it to sound like it's being run through a radio almost, but I'm a little too scared to do the main vocals filtered. It would be really cool and stylistic, but I think that it's too much of a contrast with the verses being normal. So let's just listen to the chorus all together.
It's fine, even if I'm passed out on the floor. I'm fasting for some more. I sing my songs for you, so you'll kiss me at the door. Break free.
You might have heard a little, yeah, that's leftover reverb from a different vocal idea I had. I think it was this one, but I decided to leave it. I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool for some reason. And then these are just a bunch of ahs. We can listen to the ending of verse 2 for some more harmonies.
Before we get the chance for things to fall apart, I'll spell it out for you, but baby, don't you run away from the song I wrote you. Passed out on the floor.
And then one thing that I added at the end to give it some sort of cool little outro is I just took the ending of the vocal and I just chopped it up a little bit. So it sounds like this. So that is a breakdown of my new song called Maroon. Like I said, it's basically a counterpart or a sped up version of the song it's being released with, called Midrift, and these lyrics are meant to kind of play off of one another. I think it's a cool idea. I don't know, maybe it's a really stupid idea, but you know, some people are doing, like Black Bear, for example, did that thing where his version of 902, or Dirty Laundry, I think, blew up. The slowed down version of it. And so then sometimes, like that one song like Tech It is the sped up version, by, who is that by? Cafe something. There are lots of songs that are slowed up and then sped down and they seem to do well, but I just literally did two different versions of this because I hated one, and then I was convinced maybe I should try to not hate it. So I don't know, I think it's kind of a unique idea, and you'll see a breakdown of my song Midrift, the slowed down version, pretty soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. This song comes out on October 15th. If you want to listen to it now, you can pay $1 and go listen to it on my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching.